All right, these are connecting rod bearings for the 320 cubic inch Packard engine. This is the original Packard bearing from 1935 to 39, which is no longer available. What we do is we use the early Chrysler slant 6 bearings in there, which is the same crankshaft diameter. And these particular ones are the exact same width as the original. The oil squirt hole also lines up with the Packard one. And we drill the wrist pin lubrication hole in the upper half only. You don't need it in the lower half to match the hole in this bearing here. All you have to do is bore the rod out to the size for these bearings.
So you got a pretty simple, procedure to keep this going.
The 32 to 34, all you have to do is bore the rod and notch it for the locking tank. 35 and later, with the thrust flange, you have to weld the side of the rod and have those finished ground to fit.
Now, is this kind of a repair something you come across pretty often to keep these motors running?
Well, that's what we do to most of those engines, yeah, because you can't get the original bearings. And this bearings, we had a lot of miles put on those cars with those bearings in it with no trouble. These come with different, they have an aluminum alloy bearing, they have a babbited bearing, and they had a copper lead bearing. I like the aluminum bearings because they're not as hard on the crankshaft as the copper lead bearing is. The 35 and later Packard crankshafts were electro-hardened. In fact, that's stamped right on the front of the crankshaft because the Packard used a hard bearing on those engines.
And when you make a repair like this, what is the expected lifespan of it, like in miles?
Hard to say.
Hard to say.
We had
Depends on where.
one engine, a car that was driven over 70,000 miles before the engine was taken apart, but it was taken apart because the cylinders wore out.
That's certainly that one's a big one, right?
Yeah.